Okay, we need to write an equation for a line perpendicular to y equals negative 5x minus 2 and passing through the point 15, 4. So if a line is perpendicular, what does that mean? Well, what it means is the slopes are negative reciprocals. So let's just look at a couple slopes and perpendicular slopes. Oops, a little crazy. Okay, if we have a slope that was 2/3, the perpendicular slope is the negative reciprocal. So since this is positive, it's negative 3/2. I'm going to do a few. I would encourage you to pause this video and test yourself to see if you're getting it. So let's say we have a slope of negative 1/2. Okay, so pause, see if you can figure out what it would be before I tell you. We want to do the negative reciprocal, so we'll flip it, which would be 2/1 or just 2, and it's got to be positive since that one's negative. So notice only one of the slopes is negative, the other's got to be positive. Okay, what about 7/5? If 7/5 is the slope, it'll be negative 5/7. Okay, what if the slope is negative 3? Well, negative reciprocal, we need to flip it, make it positive, so it'll be 1/3, because remember 3 is over 1. Okay, last one, here's a tricky one. What if it's 1? The perpendicular slope will just be negative 1. So make sure you understand this concept. So now back to this problem. Well, we need a line perpendicular. So if the slope is negative 5, what would our new perpendicular slope be? Well, remember we have to flip it. Since this is negative, the other slope will be positive, and so it's going to be a positive 1/5. Now we know it passes through the point 15, 4, and that's the only information we're going to get. You can even cross this out so you don't accidentally use that negative 2. The only thing we need from this line was that slope to help us find the new perpendicular slope. So now we're going to put this into our point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Remember, we leave y and x alone, just substitute in for y1 and x1. So we get y minus y1, which is 4, equals the slope, which is 1/5, times x minus x1, which is 15. Let's go ahead and distribute here. We get y minus 4 equals 1/5 x. Now 15 we can put over 1, so it's like 15 over 5, which simplifies to 3. If that doesn't make sense, you might want to write it out on this side. Okay, we're going to add 4 to finish solving for y. So y equals, those canceled, 1/5 x plus 1. And that's going to be our final answer. So notice the only thing we got was the slope from that line to help us find the perpendicular slope. We use this point, and then we just use our point slope form to find the equation. Reach out if this one is still confusing. I know this one can be a little bit tricky.